Good evening, all of you. Welcome back, Pankaj Desai and my colleague Sunil also with me. Thank you all for your active participation in these sessions. Today we are going to have this cycle, today's session from in a logical order from where we have received the material. What we could not cover in our two material purchase cycles was the quality part, quality of material, incoming material received, and what is the fate of it finally. So that is something that we will start, which was an open session, open topic of the previous session. And then we take it forward as to from the planning 001 cycle, where there was already an SJO created. So we could say that today's session is more towards combined of planning and production both. But why I have labeled it more on the production side is because planning part allocation we had already seen our planning session 1. So today we are just going to pass through that in order to take it further in terms of uh, taking it forward on the production side. In fact, today's transaction cycles is going to touch upon multiple modules. आज जो मॉड्यूल्स कवर होंगे उसमें नेचुरली क्वालिटी मॉड्यूल कवर होगा क्योंकि उसका काम we could not do it in on our previous session. So quality module आएगा, planning module आएगा, to an extent design आएगा, because we are going to cover, we covered in the planning session when we did the engineering part where we talked about the standard bill of material, product structure versus the CBOM. So today we are going to, that was what do you need to manufacture, and today we are going to talk about how do you manufacture. So when we say how, we are going to cover the processes, this process sheets and all, which is a part of the engineering module, and again work order process sheet, which is a part of the planning module. So from there we'll take it further to the production booking and time booking, quantity booking, and then bringing the finished components or finished goods into the finished warehouse as respectively as the case may be, which falls under stores and inventory module, because we have generally taken an approach that whatever is received goes to a warehouse other than what is there in the WIP. So WIP is a notional control activity on the shop, which we do not qualify, we do not classify that as warehouse. But other than that, whatever is coming in, whether through the goods receipt note route or through the production booking completion and bringing the finished component or finished goods into the warehouse part, that falls under the stores and inventory module. So with this background, let me start with quality part, quality entry QC for GRN. Today we will restrict ourselves on only the basic of the material receipt part. Once in the future sessions, when we go for the details of the quality, we will talk about other certain features which are important from quality angle. Sorry, it seems that the internet is acting slightly crazy. Sunil, please try again. Yeah. As you can see on your screen now, the GRN that we had done is, as I had said in the earlier session, that we in the material receipt time, that we have warehouse types and there are certain control warehouse. So but as I had said, मटेरियल जो परचेज ऑर्डर जो ऑथोराइज्ड है, जिसका फाइनल प्रिंट लिया गया है, which is good for allowing the bringing the material in, goes to a control warehouse called receiving warehouse. Then in the item master we have a flag which is a flag for whether this item needs quality testing checking at the time of when it is brought in. So at that, for that, those items which are marked as quality as yes, the GRNs which are authorized. For authorized GRNs, as you can see on your screen, GRN type is something which is made available. For the purpose of current discussion, let us limit it to regular GRN. When you say regular GRN, it means that we are talking of the GRN, material GRN against which we had raised the purchase order. So when the regular GRN was done, for regular GRN, incoming material was there and it was authorized. So stores activity is over and the material is now offered to quality department for further action. So in the material receipt, what happens is that system shows you the list of items for each GRN. Sunil will select one of the GRNs for you and then it will show you the pending items for QC. It shows that you can see on the grid GRN purchase unit of measurement, GRN internal unit of measurement. This concept we have talked about. Pending quality for internal unit of measurement. And then now important field is accepted in purchase unit of measurement. And again, the next will be rejected in purchase unit of measurement. As you would notice, which you may have noticed even earlier, that right from purchase order time, we have said that we support on the stores and the purchase side 2 units of measurements, that is internal and purchase. So in order to facilitate the user, we are displaying the quantities in both units of measurements so that physically it can be counted, but actually if it is a countable item, it can be known that okay, this is as far as the internal unit of measurement is concerned. And if it is different uh, unit of measurement, then we can know that okay, what you have received in say length or by area. सपोज ये पाइप उसने भेजा है या तो राउंड बार भेजा है जो आपके पास कोई लेंथ में आया है और उसका कंपनी का बिल ऑफ मतलब कंपनी का यूनिट ऑफ मेजरमेंट इज length in millimeter and supplier obviously has sent it in kgs, then you should know that what is the uh, quantity that I am inspecting now. So based on that, this is the information that is available. User has to enter. For the purpose of our simplicity, we have taken a computer bill of material. So let us say that 25 quantity have been authorized in the GRN, as you can see on the screen. If you say accepted 25, it will be passed. Quality is passing all the 25, then it is going to the actual warehouse from where the user can make it allocated. User can allocate it against an SJO. That is why we are having that it's the holding warehouse is receiving warehouse. Once the QC approves it, it moves to the warehouse in which it is can be picked up by the authorized planning person for further allocation and usage. So यहाँ पे आप सुनील 20 एक्सेप्ट करो और 5 रिजेक्ट करो. You can accept 20 and reject 5. Request all of you to keep in mind that we are talking of material GRN right now, and we are talking of a simple case. So जहाँ पे मैंने ये 5 rejected, these fields we will touch upon in the future training sessions of size, inward hit number and all that. So we have to give the reason code and remark. Reason codes are pre-decided by the company as per the reasons that company has chosen to be defined. So which is under control of the ERP administrator through codes master. We just select the reason. We can write appropriate remark against that, which will remain as a part of the record. The next column is remark. બાજુમાં remark છે. Yeah. Test એવું લખીને. And when you save on the right screen, there will be a QC document generated in continuation or as a logical link to the GRN. As you can see on your top screen on the green color, QC entry for GRN 654 saved successfully. A notification is generated and notification will go to the corresponding people who have been defined in the notification hierarchy matrix, which is again, as I said in the first session on which I had talked about, first meaning the first of its kind in the session he had talked about, and anyway in future we will take it up. Yeah, so this is a quality done, and so 20 GRNs, 20 items quantities have been accepted and 5 have been rejected. So for the purpose of our basic discussion, let us stay limited to this. I will सुनील आप ऐसा करो, एक बार जाके ये आइटम का कार्डेक्स दिखा दो तो पता चले. स्टोर्स एंड इन्वेंटरी मॉड्यूल में स्टोर लेजर दिखा दो तो दे कैन रिलेट दैट व्हाट वाज द फेट ऑफ दिस आइटम. ये पर्टिकुलर आइटम ही ले लेना आप, कीबोर्ड वाला कॉपी करके वहां से. This need not be the code, it can be description also. ये तो सुनील को पता है उसलिए उसने कोड लिया है, बाकी आप डिस्क्रिप्शन भी ले सकते हो. रिजेक्शन ने इंक्लूड कर ले. राइट राइट. So as you can see, RC is the receiving warehouse, and the GRN that we were talking about, जी आवશે ને? जी नेक्स्ट मास जो आई थिंक डेट ने कारणे તારે આ વર્ષમાં લેવું પડશે. ઓથોરાઇઝેશન આ વર્ષમાં થયું છે ને 20. ના ના અહીંયા તો कोई बीजू ले ले. એ લોકોની રેગ્યુલર ડેટામાં કોઈ પણ. That's fine. Otherwise, we'll see that later. Yeah. Okay. No, financial year, no issues. Okay. We'll. ના રહેવા દે અત્યારે. Okay. Okay. So we'll take this up in the next session again, so we can verify this. Let's go back to the planning module, where against the SGO the allocation can be done. This part we had already seen. So in the right click, I suggest सुनील आप वहां से एक वर्क ऑर्डर जनरेट करो ना तो. No, you will have to select an item which is MK item. Cabinet, you can select cabinet or back cover. Okay, as you can see on your screen, it is already created the work order. So we can just see this work order number 15733 to explain what it is. This work order, as I have mentioned in the topic of the webinar today, is also known as job card. So it is a container. We will, when we see that, we will just discuss further. Sunil, please open this work order. As you can see on your screen, it is showing the details of work order number 15733 dated 31st March for computer 002. Important things I would like you to note is the unit of measurement and the quantity. Work order quantity, the job card quantity is 2 now. The due date is so and so, and start date should have been this based on the delivery date. These are the data that we have entered in past, so it is showing this kind of a situation. Let's go to the next. It tells you that this work order is for to suffice which particular SGO. So SGO is 7060. You may recall that it was the 7060 SGO that we had created during our planning session. So now this is important. As you can see on your screen, work order routing details. As I said, this is a container. this work order is not the work order that typically people call when the customer order is received and what is issued. As I said, we call it OA plus SGO combination. In this case, the work order is the job card that moves on the shop floor, on an assembly floor from one work center to another work center. So this is a concept in engineering manufacturing. The concept is called work center. ये work center can be of machine type, can be of labor type. जहां पे असेंबली ऑपरेशंस पे ज्यादा फोकस है वहां पे कोई मशीन नहीं होता है, जहां ज्यादातर वहां पे स्किल्ड जो आदमी है, फीटर्स वगैरह, वो लोग जो काम करते हैं उसके लिए वो लेबर सेंट्रिक वर्क सेंटर गिना जाता है। लेकिन जहां पे सीएनसी मशीन है, वीएमसी मशीन है, कोई लेथ मशीन है, कोई ड्रिलिंग मशीन है, कोई कटिंग मशीन है, तो ये सब फिजिकल मशीन्स हैं जिसके ऊपर आदमी तो चाहिए ही, बट देन प्राइमरीली इट इज कॉल्ड मशीन सेंट्रिक वर्क सेंटर। सो दिस कंसेप्ट इज इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट। लेट अस गो टू सुनील। अभी आपके स्क्रीन पे जो आपको दिख रहा है, ये पहले मैं समझा दूं कि ये क्या कहना चाह रहे हैं। तो ये कंटेनर क्या है? वर्क ऑर्डर में दो जगह से, दो मास्टर्स से डेटा आता है। एक, हमने जो सी बॉम्ब जनरेट किया था आप लोगों को प्लानिंग की फर्स्ट जो हमने साइकिल की बिफोर मटेरियल्स परचेस, तो वो साइकिल के पहले हमने जब साइकिल किया तब हमने बात करी थी ओए बेस्ड या तो फोरकास्ट बेस्ड एसजीओ क्रिएशन, एसजीओ से स्टैंडर्ड प्रोडक्ट स्ट्रक्चर से सी बॉम्ब। सी बॉम्ब जब फ्रीज होता है, जब रिलीज होता है, तो जो बनता है जिसको हम बोलते हैं डिमांड। तो अभी इस एसजीओ के सामने डिमांड क्या है, क्या मटेरियल चाहिए, उसके सामने एलोकेशन होता है। तो ये जो कंटेनर है उसमें डिमांड से नीचे जाइए सुनिए, स्क्रॉल डाउन, एज यू कैन सी, as you can see, items required, I am moving the cursor here, items required for the work order item। so ये यहाँ पे आ गया कि मुझे कंप्यूटर बनाने के लिए एक कैबिनेट चाहिए, 2 का वर्क ऑर्डर है तो इट इज मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 2 टेराबिट्स की हार्ड डिस्क 2 चाहिए, ये असेंबली टाइप की आइटम है, ये बॉट आउट है। कीबोर्ड्स 2 चाहिए, ये बॉट आउट है। माउस पैड 2 चाहिए, ये बॉट आउट है। ये जो बिल ऑफ मटेरियल में जिस तरह डिफाइन किया है सैंपल का, ये आपको रिक्वायर्ड आइटम्स ये कंटेनर में आ गया। तो ये तो सी बॉम्ब में था। ये क्यों वर्क ऑर्डर? वर्क ऑर्डर इज a hierarchical document of completing the processes which are part of the SGO। तो SGO वो है, वो तो टॉप पेरेंट का है। टॉप आइटम के नीचे जब सब असेंबलीज सब असेंबलीज कंपोनेंट्स हैं, उसमें जो जो उस लेवल की बिल ऑफ मटेरियल की आइटम लगती है, और उसको बनाने के लिए टू कंप्लीट दैट item or finished component, what are the processes required and what is the material required, that is combined here in a container called work order। so ye the details on your screen are the items required for that work order or job card, and above what you are seeing is the operations to be performed to convert ये जो आइटम्स अलग अलग हैं, ये सब के ऊपर मैं ये असेंबली ऑपरेशन करूंगा तो मुझे CMP 002 आइटम जो है वो मुझे मिलेगी। यहाँ पे जो ये आइटम है वो आइटम मेरी कंप्लीट होगी, ऐसी सिस्टम की अंडरस्टैंडिंग है। सिस्टम अंडरस्टैंड्स दैट इफ यू हैव दीज आइटम्स अवेलेबल एंड एलोकेटेबल अगेंस्ट दिस वर्क SGO, which in turn goes down to a work order level breakup, that is assembly code plus or the component code plus the position। so ये assembly operation खत्म होगा, if it is completed then you will get CMP 002 item। so these are the processes that is required right now. For the purpose of simplicity, we have defined an assembly operation। assembly operation is to be for operation is assembly, as you can see, operation code and operation description, for this also there is a master। for work center, किस ये ऑपरेशन कौन से वर्क सेंटर पे परफॉर्म किया जाएगा, तो ये मेरा वर्क सेंटर है, वो है असेंबली वर्क सेंटर। उसके ऊपर ये परफॉर्म किया जाएगा। कौन से शॉप में ये वर्क सेंटर सिचुएटेड है, तो ये जो शॉप में ये वर्क सेंटर सिचुएटेड है, so that shop is also written here. So the hierarchy, as we can see, is a shop or a plant, within that work centers and within that operation to be performed. And this operation right now it is showing serial number 1. If there are multiple operations to be performed, they will be available to you in the grid like this, which we will show you. And to complete this operation, yes, you can add new, and you can add an inside operation or an outside operation. Outside will mean the job work that we will cover in our future cycles. So inside operation or outside operation, that is something that we have to talk about it here. जैसे प्रोडक्ट स्ट्रक्चर में मैंने बात करी थी कि प्रोडक्ट स्ट्रक्चर से सी बॉम्ब में लाते टाइम कोई स्पेसिफिक चेंजेस वी हैव टू इनकॉर्पोरेट, देन वी कैन डू इट अंडर द सी बॉम्ब टाइम. Similarly, there is a standard product process sheet which is a part of the master definition which is given in the engineering module, materials module. From there, when you get into the work order container, job card, you can add the process, you can alter the process. So this work order will become specific to this particular position for assembly within an SGO. ये समझना जरूरी है कि मास्टर इसमें भी 2 लेवल के हैं, मास्टर और ट्रांजैक्शनल लेवल वर्क ऑर्डर प्रोसेस शीट. Even time wise you can change. Standard time may have been defined as setup time as 30 minutes and operation time of 30 minutes. You may say that no, this is the worker जो आया है वो इतना skilled नहीं है, तो ये जब मैं वर्क ऑर्डर एग्जीक्यूट करूंगा तब मेरी 45 मिनट्स होगी या 1 आवर होगा. So this will be considered as PPC's role of expected time to complete this operation. Mark my words carefully. ये ऑपरेशन खत्म करने के लिए, टू कंप्लीट दिस ऑपरेशन अंडर दिस वर्क ऑर्डर, I am authorizing so much of time as a part of my work order. Then actual will be booked at the time of production booking, right? So please mention Sunil there 45. Yeah, just say 45 and remove the standard starting time. Setup time is usually for the machine centric operations where setup, you need to set that machine up for the next operation. So standard operating time, please scroll right further. Right? And at the end of this operation, do I require QC? So that is in production QC. So that is something that is very important. Couple of minutes back, what we have seen is the QC for the incoming material. Here we are talking of the production stage by stage facility that we have built in as a part of the system to define quality. If you say quality required yes here, that means that system will not allow, even if there is a second operation, system will not allow time or quantity booking for the second operation till such time the quality of the first operation is successfully completed. So that again we will touch upon when we go to the second stage of further webinars where we will cover the relevant topics. So right now just understand that this columns that you are seeing on the screen of work order routing details are specific to work order number, I guess 15733 or something that was there. ये specific to a work order है. Yes, 15733. Now coming back to the ये data, how did this come here? So let's understand that how did this come here. So let us go to the materials module and let us go to the process sheets. Sunil, please take some of the items which are there in this data only, so that we can take multiple, if there is a multiple operation, we can explain. Back करो. No, no. Okay, okay, okay. Just take any of this, their regular item. This data as regular item. Take any item. Is it having multiple operations? Just check. नहीं है इसमें? नहीं है. कोई और ले लो ना. First one MK वाली ले. Okay, આમાં એક જ છે. Okay, good. You already taken. I did not know. Sorry. Okay, so as a part of the computer bill of material, the back cover is defined, which has two operations, as Sunil has indicated. Just for the purpose of discussion and explanation, we are using this sheet. So as you can relate, in the previous screen, there was one line in the grid. Here it says whether my operation is inside or outside. What is my sequence of operation? As you can see, here is the sequence of operation. This is a serial number that will be logical. This is my sequence of operation. Some companies which are extensively into time, and this is in typical engineering manufacturing setup. This is known as the time and motion study related information entry. How much time do I require to move my material in completing the process from process 1 to process 2? So time and motion is a subject through which of very well defined in the industrial engineering. So experts who have been people have been experts in this area, and industries seek their guidance to streamline their manufacturing processes and operations. So this is something which is a part of that. So companies have this standard information available, so they can give that this is the sequence of operation. It will be performed on this work center. As I said, work center can be of machine type, can be of labor type. एंड मेरा ऑपरेशन क्या होगा, तो ये ऑपरेशन कोड क्या है, व्हाट इज माय स्टैंडर्ड सेटअप टाइम एंड व्हाट इज माय स्टैंडर्ड ऑपरेटिंग टाइम, whether if that outside item operation is to be performed outside. Please mark my cursor here. It says 150 is my value. This has come from a different master. We will touch upon that when we go to subcontracting related webinar. So let us not invest our time into this. And important, as I said, whether you would like to have QC, no or yes. This is an important thing for you to note. So a work center is a part of the shop and operations have to be performed. That is something that you have to note here. There is a very important phenomena for this. इसके साथ there is a relationship of defining the rate master, and rates can be, again, we have the facility where we say that per hour rate and per hour rate we can be machine rate. And as I said, when there is a machine, yeah, yeah. So when there is a machine rate, नॉर्मली मशीन के साथ आदमी लगता है, तो ये जो सीएनसी मशीन मानो चला तो उसका 300 रुपया घंटा पड़ने वाला है। तो पर आवर मेरा रेट क्या है वो डालने की फैसिलिटी यहाँ पे है। खाली लेबर है तो लेबर डालने की फैसिलिटी है। सो इट कंसिस्ट ऑफ 4 different things. You need to give at least one. You have to say either it has machine rate or it has labor rate, or we have overhead 1 and overhead 2, which can be fixed overheads or variable overheads. Now, this is something that it is possible to define in the system. और ये 4 टाइप के रेट्स का जो कॉम्बिनेशन है वो हमने जैसे प्रोसेस शीट में देखा और वर्क ऑर्डर प्रोसेस शीट में इट इज कैरीड फॉरवर्ड. इफ यू बुक टाइम of the operation, system understands, or even if you define at the master level or at the work order level, system understands that associate ये वर्क ऑर्डर के ये वर्क सेंटर के साथ, आई एम सॉरी नॉट वर्क ऑर्डर, with this work center whatever are the rates associated, that when I say that this work center was utilized for say half an hour, then each rate per hour will be multiplied by the time that is specified in the work order process sheet, and the value so derived will be cumulated for the operation for machine time rate plus labor rate plus overhead 1 plus overhead 2, that is fixed or variable, if at all it has 4 are defined in the system. If only one is defined, then it will take into consideration as 1. Then add to that the second operation, third operation. I am talking of inside operations. Yes, so sum of all these will be a value added contribution of my manufacturing to my material value. So material value when it comes to finished goods is material value plus for in-house manufacturing, what is my contribution? This is the contribution of my manufacturing setup which has contributed towards enhancing my material value, and the result sum of these two will be the resultant effect as the cost of my finished component or finished goods. If there was a subcontracting element, even labor cost towards subcontracting will be added to this, and we will touch upon that when we go to the webinar for subcontracting. But please pay attention to this very, very carefully, that this is something which is generally not found in or rarely found in ERP systems. I'm not talking of tier 1, I'm talking of other systems that are which if we have to compete, this is something that is unique to us, that we can define a work center, and for a work center we can define the time per machine for machine rate, labor rate, and 2 types of overheads, and the combination is done as value addition on the material side, and it enhances my value, right? So this is important for you to know. ये उसके में ऊपर जाके भी मैं एक चीज आपको बताना चाहता हूं, प्रोसेस शीट में सुनील सॉरी प्रोसेस शीट में. So as I was saying, we are going we are switching between modules. So from planning we have gone back to engineering, right? So let's go to materials. Let's go to this. No, Sunil, I want the process sheet for this back cover. बैक कवर का खोल दो या तो किसी भी यहाँ पे देखिए आप बैक कवर आइटम के लिए ये प्रोसेस शीट है। अगर प्रोसेस शीट के हेडर लेवल पे आपको कुछ रिमार्क डालना है तो आप डाल सकते हैं। यू कैन पुट एनी रिमार्क दैट यू थिंक, बट दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट वेयर माई आई एम मूविंग द कर्सर, दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। Consider setup time as required for single quantity or batch quantity. Please pay attention to this. As I said, these are certain unique features that our system offers, and all of us should be aware of it. That otherwise, people may say that ये तो दूसरे XYZ system में भी है. To the best of my knowledge, I am not. I'll be careful when I say this. I think the competing product, even in tier one, which are there, uh, have also probably not this kind of facilities available where we say that they can define work centers, and work centers, whether this work center is of produces this item in batch type or a single quantity. Yeah, this you may relate with if there is a CNC VMC machine, then when I load that machine, it will be for some quantities, and that quantities के लिए जो setup time होगा, the setup time for those work order quantities will be one time setting. So if you say that I am doing this manufacturing for batch quantity, then the setup time here defined here is calculated for the cost purpose, considering कि ये सेटअप टाइम एक ही बार होगा पूरे बैच में, और ऑपरेशन टाइम हर एक आइटम के लिए होगा, हर एक पीस के लिए होगा। हर एक इंडिविजुअल पीस के लिए मेरा ऑपरेशन टाइम जाएगा, लेकिन मेरा सेटअप टाइम विल बी फॉर द बैच. So if I define that as batch, but if it is kind of a fabrication where you cannot have anything like batch, or an assembly where there is nothing like batch, it is always one to one. In that case, the user can define that as single quantity. That means that if I have to perform this operation on for this component or assembly or sub assembly, I need to spend time of setting up maybe and operations on a piece to piece basis. So wherever setup time is for single quantity operation or batch quantity, that is something that needs to be defined, and the corresponding effects goes to the contribution of the shop and ultimately to the costing of the product. So please note that the bill of material that we discussed and the process sheets, container of these two together is called work order or job card, and this is a very critical thing for multiple things. One being it controls the manufacturing activity on your shop floor. जैसे ये मुझे बनाने के लिए क्या क्या चाहिए, what do I need to manufacture and how do I manufacture. So that knowledge that we have to give of what do I need and how do I need are under the two masters called standard bill of standard product structure, or product structure and standard bill of material, or process sheet, which gets inherited into CBOM and then finally into work order or job card. So ये समझना बहुत जरूरी है, और I would like you to pay attention to this. And now let us take it further. Sunil, let us go to the work order process sheet. Okay, sorry, please come back to the process sheet. Sorry. I missed one point. In process sheet, we also have the facility to define detailed description and tools and modes. तो ये जब मैं ऑपरेशन मेरी कंपनी के अंदर इन हाउस ये मेरा मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एक्टिविटी होगा, if you have to specify to the shop floor person, the person on the shop floor, the production engineer or the labor, that what per operation he needs to perform, and at that time if he wants to write anything in detail, he can write in the detailed description here, which can then be printed on the work order routing card or work order routing report. So operation to operation detailed description can be entered. Not just that, to perform this operation on this work center, if I need any tools, I can specify that here, that I need this tool or I need this instrument or I need this gauge. This much precision and this much facility our system provides, which we believe is unique in its kind, right? That which tool do you need, which instrument do you need, which gauge do you need to carry out this operation, because back to back based on this in future is a part of extension, our ongoing enhancement to our new horizon product. We are also going to offer tool planning and tool creep management as an additional module. Commercials thereof something will be known, explained as and when required, but mostly this will be an add-on module because everyone do not need it. Similarly, work centers which we have defined, that work centers, if it is a machine type of work center, it needs maintenance. So we are also adding plant maintenance module as a part of our new horizon system, which can also be offered to the end customer optionally. So tool creep, plant maintenance, these will be optional modules as they will be developed in the new horizon. Right? So this is something that I wanted to tell you. So this will help in the tool planning. So this is something that is unique. So similarly, if there is a mold required, you can define mold also, right? So this is something that I wanted to highlight. Let's go back to the work order. Yes. Can you now please relate this of what we discussed? Some of you may find this to be too technical and I would say lengthy, but since it is a feature of the system, people who have machine shop operations, they will find this very useful. Extension to this, as I said, can be for their shop loading, how much is my shop loaded, that information also will be made available only through this data. So they can know that what is my capacity versus what is my feasibility available of the machine, right? So this is something that is a part of the work order. Now let us go to the production booking. So though the title of the system, I'm sorry, today's webinar is production, we are now going into the production module. So far we have talked, we have remained focused on planning module and engineering module or materials module. Now allocated items, sorry, but prior to production, we need to issue the material what is allocated. So as Sunil has rightly shown, is seen on the screen, what we need to do is to issue the material. Now issuing the material, again, when we talk of the admin module, we'll talk about it in details, but you have the user specific access rights possible to provide, as we have talked in this, for a site and for a warehouse. So this user, the user who is authorized to make an issue slip, this is, mind you, this is titled as issue slip, but this is a requisition, material requisition from issue slip demanded by शॉप फ्लोर टू द स्टोर, ये लेके शॉप फ्लोर का आदमी लेके, मतलब ये जनरेट करने के बाद इंटीग्रेटेड सिस्टम, since it's an integrated system, once a shop floor person generates an issue slip, that means that he is seeking this material what is allocated by the planner, and he expects stores to issue them. So issue slip is made by the production person and authorized by the stores person. He can edit before the authorization even if the allocated quantity is somehow not available or not cannot be issued for any other reason, right? So issue slip, when you go, it is again, issue slip has certain features that I would like to highlight. Issue slip can be specific to a warehouse, can be, yes, for a specific warehouse or multiple warehouse, can be for a work order, can be for an SJO, can be for a sales OAF. Now all this is because, as you may recall, a sales OAF will have multiple items to be dispatched to a customer. For that, there may be multiple SGOs. And against multiple SGOs, there will be hierarchical structure. So there may be multiple work orders. So system gives the flexibility for the shop user, the manufacturing person, the production supervisor or the production assistant to decide whether he needs material entirely for the SGO. इस एसजीओ में जितने जितने असेंबलीज होने हैं वो सबका उसको एक साथ मटेरियल चाहिए, या पर्टिकुलरली अभी एक ही जॉब कार्ड का या वर्क ऑर्डर का चाहिए, या इस इश्यू स्लिप में अब तक जो जो इस कस्टमर ओए के सामने जितने एसजीओ के जितने वर्क ऑर्डर्स बन चुके हैं सबके लिए मुझे एक साथ एलोकेशन करना है, इश्यू करना है, सॉरी, एलोकेशन के बेस पे। तो ये सब फैसिलिटी हमने दी है, उसमें भी सिंगल और मल्टीपल है। ये एज द यूजेज विल बी मोर, इट विल बी नोन टू द पीपल whether I would like to issue from single warehouse or multiple warehouse, that is the selection. And once the issue slip is made, an issue slip is prepared and it is duly authorized, system expects, very important, please mark my words, the next thing that I am saying, that whatever was received and authorized at the time of GRN and QC done, that was part of my warehouse stock. System has 4 level of stocks, which I will come to that later in some future sessions, but right now कोई भी मटेरियल आके जीआरएन बन के स्टोर में गया, सो दैट इज कॉल्ड वेयरहाउस स्टॉक. From warehouse, what is issued based on the authorized issue slip is on the integrated finance side, when, because each of the material transaction posts the financial entries, that also for that we are going to take a session. But just for the purpose of your understanding right now, whatever is issued based on the authorized issue slip hits my control account on the finance side as WIP. WIP, mind you, is not semi-finished items or small components or small assemblies. WIP is purely that material which is issued on which operations are being performed and the produced quantity is still not booked as work order received. तो ये WIP का फंडामेंटल के हिसाब से ये समझना जरूरी है. इश्यू की वैल्यूएशन के ऊपर भी we will discuss when we talk about that in the future sessions. But right now, for the purpose of our understanding, this is the issue slip where SGO against an SGO and a work order. So against SGO 7060, against work order 15733, these items which were there in work order have been issued, and so issue quantity is written here, and this is what we are seeing is an issue slip on the screen. Right? So issue will be completed and you can autofill the issues also. Yeah, okay. Let's go to the production booking. Yeah, on hand quantity, and if it is the same, then we are issuing. You can use the autofill button as well, so that quantities which are identically demanded, and if you issued, it will be taken as issue quantity. As you can see on your screen top, on the green, issue items details saved and issue document number is so and so 3686, right? This issue slip will need authorization. So all that you see on the green is that the notifications generated as a part of the system. Then let's go to the production module and let's go to the labor production entry. So as you can first tab, just go here. Yeah. You can book the production for normal as well as rework. You may recall that a couple of minutes back I said that for after every operation there is a facility to define whether QC is yes or no. In that QC we will, when we go, we will see, but yes, rework is a possibility. So if a rework was given, then we are booking time against the rework. But right now let us go to the normal. That means our regular activity is there. On which shop I am doing, ये अभी जो हम देख रहे हैं स्क्रीन पे, that is a time booking and quantity booking facility that we have provided, or functionality that we have provided in the system for a person who is involved in the manufacturing. For each individual, if company chooses to put the time data for each individual on the shop floor, then it can do it for every day, or for obviously the work orders that, or the job cards on which he has used. In which shop did he work, which employee, on which date, what is the date on which the operation, I mean the production activity was performed. Right? What was the work order number? Yes, for which SGO number 7060. Then within that, what is the job work order number 15733, right? And just a minute, just go up, थोड़ा ऊपर जा. See, can you notice this? Since we have done some trials, it also tells you that you have already booked 6 hours 40 minutes on this work order in this date, right? So this is the input that you are seeing right now, that this information is already available to you कि अब तक आपने already इस work order पे 640 6 घंटा 40 सॉरी नॉट 640 6 घंटा 40 मिनट बुक कर दिया है, whether today or whether in past. So ये information आपको available है. Now let's go to the operation detail. नीचे, since we had selected only one operation, right now it shows you the operation as per the work order process sheet. 15733 on assembly operation needs to be performed. Then, yeah, further on the right, please. Quantity expected to be completed. So you see this process में दो है, अभी दोनों क्वांटिटी खत्म हुई कि एक ही हुई है या कुछ नहीं हुआ, खाली टाइम बुक हुआ है. In large fabrication cases, it sometimes happens that they keep on booking the time. Quantity produced may come much later. So we have the facility of only time booking or time and quantity booking, right? So let's book the quantity right now for our simplicity. Let's give it 1. JNR 1 or 2. Yeah. Okay. So I'm saying that I'm booking it only for 1. Now I can see, please pay attention that the process sheet timings are not seen here. Otherwise, user will tend to make the decision. He has to put the actual time that he has spent. This is normally usually done by the production. We expect that it will be done by the production supervisor. So कितना टाइम मेरे को ये ऑपरेशन और ये वर्क ऑर्डर में गया, ये टाइम डालने का यहाँ पे दिस टाइम हैज टू बी एंटर्ड which will be measured against the work order process sheet time to derive efficiency, right? So define please something, say 1 hour, right? Now if this during this operations ये मैं जब किसी एम्प्लॉय स्पेसिफिक एंट्री कर रहा हूं, रेज्यूम करते हैं कि देयर इज अ शिफ्ट ऑफ 8 आवर्स. If this operation was down, if this work center was down for some reason, that there was no power or there was something else, you can also book idle time, right? Or non-productive time, right? That this person was idle or he was non-productive, and why, then you can select the reason against from the master that is definable. So ये सब सिस्टम के वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फीचर्स हैं जिसके बताने के लिए मैं इतने डिटेल में आप लोगों को ले जा रहा हूं. सो यू कैन डिफाइन idle time, not ideal time. Ideal time is what is defined in the work order process sheet. As against that, if the work center or the person was idle, what was the idle time, what was the non-productive time, and what was the reason for that. Or if beyond shift hours, if you have given any overtime, then that time can also be mentioned over here. So time and quantity booking is something that you can mention here. Any specific remark that you would write for related to this particular work order, that you can write loss hours remark or some specific remark that you would like to remain in the document, that you can write. So, and you can also mention the start time and the end time. And if you put the start time and the end time, balance time between will be considered as the operation time. That facility also we have provided. So this is very important screen for the time and quantity booking, the way it was defined in at the time of releasing the work order, that is authorizing the work order or the job card. So if the PPC person, production planning and control person, has defined particular operations, QC, all that is mandatory for production, QC, and all the people to follow and put the data accordingly. So this is something that I wanted to highlight you as a part of the production booking, right? As an extension to that, as I said, there is a production QC, which briefly I will tell you that if the QC is yes, system expects that it goes to the quality person who is on the shop QC, and that shop QC person has an authority to say that this is accepted, accepted with deviation, rejected, or rework. If it says rework, that is why on this screen earlier you had seen a rework, right? And this rejection here is marked as shop rejection, not the GRN rejection. That GRN rejection is called inward rejection, and this second rejection is called shop rejection. So two separate rejections we are tracking with all relevant data and information. Let's go to the, yes, this is the screen that Sunil has opened right now, which says labor production QC, where if the operation, whatever is the defined, you can just say enter on the quantity. seems to be some issue on the column heading. Okay, we'll see that in detail, but right now, since the operation was yes, we have done that. Yes, you can in fact define the parameters also which are required at this point of time, right? So labor production QC is saved. We track each and every labor production entry and corresponding QC if it was set, QC operation was required with a unique uh, traceability. That I would like you to note. Let's go to the work order received. So work order received is, if I can relate it correctly in the Tally terminology, it is DPR, daily production report, daily production booking. If I may not be talking the right acronym, but it is the production booking entry. For 7060 SGO, I am booking for this particular 15. Yeah, you can do it for all work orders or fully completed. Fully completed meaning for the work order for which you had all the required issue items were issued and the time booking was done. Yes. So this is the booking of FG. That was interim, was a production booking for on the shop. This is finally when the work order receipt means this is good for bringing to the next higher level, that is called finished component or finished goods. If it is a finished component, it may go to the next logical hierarchy of the SGO to the higher level work order, right? So I just make the work order the quantity 1, since we have booked the production for 1 and accepted is 1. This is for why this issue slip details are being asked is because the logically it goes to the since it passes through and the shop, एक ऑपरेशन एक लेवल का जॉब कार्ड खत्म करके नेक्स्ट लेवल पे चला जाएगा तो किसको ऑटोमेटिकली इश्यू हो जाएगा मटेरियल, इसके लिए ये सिलेक्शन है कि आगे किसको मिलेगा, बराबर है। तो ये जो आइटम्स थे वो करने के बाद या लेट्स डू इट फर्दर, आगे जाओ, सेव या ये सब कॉन्फ़िगरेशन है कि अगर वर्क ऑर्डर रिसीव्ड इंसर्टेड सक्सेसफुली, वर्क ऑर्डर रिसीप्ट नंबर इज 15734, right? Again there is an authorization. These authorizations are configurable. Somewhere we have made it compulsory, somewhere we have an option for the customer to choose, but by and large looking to the Indian way of operations, एक गलती हो जाती है. To avoid that, we keep two levels: entry, I mean prepared by, checked by, or prepared by authorized kind of a situation, right? And I authorize this. So at authorization, again the finance posting is generated and no further work order is pending for authorization. It indicates the message. Sunil, previously completed कोई आइटम का कार्डेक्स दिखा दो क्योंकि इसमें ये ईयर एंड के कारण आई थिंक देयर इज सम इश्यू, so that we can show. Just show that item. So as you can see this, it says that 15733 work order is completed for the SGO number 7060. One quantity is brought to this warehouse called SHIEX. Computer was the product. This was the corresponding document, that is the work order receipt number document. This number here corresponds to this type of document. This work order receipt is 15734 for work order number 733 for SGO number 7060. All the information is available. Credit of 1 because this is a store ledger. The value is the issue value plus the shop floor contribution, and this is the balance value and balance quantity. That is what we are trying to show. Sunil, can you show two things, work order routing slip and work order receipt print? Any previous one. Let us not bother about these selections here, that we will talk about later. We can take anything. ये तीन चार ले लो, फ्रंट बैक कवर, ये जो आपने लिया है ना सुनील, ये तीनों और CMP अभी चारों दिख रहे हैं, 15718, 15719, 20 एंड 21 ऊपर ऊपर। ठीक है, ये चार ले लो तो भी इश्यू नहीं। ले लो ले लो। See, as you can see, this gives an exhaustive information. What is my, what was the sheet? This is the work order receipt number. Is it more readable now? 15721, right? For work order number 15728 for SGO number so and so, item SGO key so and so. This is the lower level item called front cover. You needed two quantities, and from this warehouse this was received. Work order quantity was 2, forecast order was so and so, and I needed an MS sheet to complete. So consumed item is this, child issue value is so and so, and as I said, shop contribution here, it says 5 rupees towards machine operation value and labor overhead value 30. So 35 rupees cost is added to my material cost of 2826, and that is why I am deriving the value as 2861 as part of my finished goods, finished components item for front cover. This will go further. Similarly will be for back cover. Similarly, it will go to cabinet. And as you can see the next, yeah, ये दूसरा है। आप देखिए यहाँ पे जो है वो बैक कवर का है। तो बैक कवर के लिए जो मटेरियल इश्यू हुआ, वो इश्यू की वैल्यू शायद दूसरी होगी, तो 2366 रुपीज है, बिकॉज ये फीफो पे जाता है। एंड अगेन 30 रुपीज, देयर वाज नो मशीन time, only the overhead was defined here. For this work center, the work center will be different. So it says 30 rupees here and it says 2396.02. Let's go further. So for a computer right now, it says that it needed a computer cabinet, which was 2685. For keyboard, it was this. Cabinet consisted, we have not selected right now the work order for cabinet. Cabinet is consisting of, the BOM is defined as front cover plus back cover. So दोनों का मिला के computer cabinet costed 2658 plus keyboard is, ये कौन सी पोजीशन पे था BOM में, ये जो डिफाइन किया ये है, उसका वो 125 रुपया is towards keyboard, 150 towards mouse, 2,550 for hard disk. So my material cost is 5483.51 and 15 rupees is my labor charge. So labor is 15, so it comes to 5498 for 51. Please mark one very important thing, that when the operations are going level up from level, from नीचे से जब ऊपर जाता है, from raw material or bought out to converting to the next level, to the next level, to the next level, प्रीवियस टाइम जो कंट्रीब्यूशन शॉप का था वो वैल्यू एडिशन अपने आप इश्यू स्लिप की वैल्यू से कवर हो जाता है. So this is what I wanted to show you. And the last thing that I would like to show you is the print of job card or work order routing, which is used by some of our customers for actual shop floor operations. They keep it in a, they tag it or they keep it in a laminated sheet or the plastic folder, and that moves along with the tray. Yes, just select one. Any particular work order you may select. Work order wise would be fine. Just take anything. कोई भी ले लो ना. We just So this is in a way work order routing slip or job card. This is a document which can be issued, given along by the planning PPC authorized person. He issues this, says that work order number. This is all the information that was there in the work order when we authorized it, right? So work order authorization date, quantity order, what is the SGO number, right? What was the operation required, what are the items required, and who has given this. So this is something that is an important document that I wanted to show. So as far as our webinar topic for today is concerned, we have completed what was pending from the previous session of material incoming quality, accepted and rejected part. We have not gone into the details of QC module, whether it is incoming QC or production QC, that we will touch upon in future webinars. But just accepted and rejected. An accepted quantity is available to you for allocation against an SGO. Then SGO to work order creation. Work order is when bifurcating the bill of material into levels. When you are bifurcating into levels, so level wise, when it is you are creating a work order or a job card, there is a master called process sheet. Process sheet has supporting masters like work center, operations, rates, shops. So combination of all that. Yes, as I said, facility to define tools. You can define that which tools are required, what are the detailed description that you would like to perform, whether this operation is, whether this product required to be produced is to be produced in single quantity or in batch quantity, so that the setup time can be fixed accordingly. Further to that, the once the allocation was already done, issue slip creation, issue slip authorization on the store side for the material being made available to the shop floor. Against that, the time booking and the quantity booking. If that operation required QC, then just briefly we have touched upon the QC part. And going further, the work order receipt, that is booking the production and bringing the production into the stock and issuing it based on the configuration for the next higher upward work order in logical sequence. So we have covered work order to the work order receipt. We have also seen the glimpse of the cardex. We have seen the glimpse of the work order detailed receipt print, wherein the costs, how they are captured. I mean, what costs are, not how, but how, what costs are captured, that is information is available, and work order routing that we have seen. I thank you all for your patience and attention, and look forward to your same active participation in future sessions. I uh,